Hello, guys, it's Johnny time, and welcome to another amazing Web3 security interview. Today, we have a super special guest in the show. His name is Ondrej, known by the nickname Talfao. Talfao is one of the best students in the Smart Contract Hacking course and Blockchain Security Academy community that is completely killing it in the Web3 security space. He had very good results in auditing contests and eventually was able to secure an internship and eventually a full-time position in one of the best auditing firms, which is Nethermind. He also mastered Cairo Smart Contract language of Starknet and worked with me on developing the materials and the exercises of the upcoming Cairo development and hacking course that's gonna be published soon. I'm super excited to dive into his journey, and also we're gonna do something new. We're gonna do this interview live in the Blockchain Security Academy community, and it's gonna be uploaded later to YouTube. Let's get started.
In our country, we had like a competition for cybersecurity. It was like kind of CTF, and that like helped me to secure application to my university. So yeah, so that's like how I go to the normal security, like special Web 2, and that I also like started with Web 2. I was working or I was on internship in Red Hat as a offensive security intern. I was pen testing web applications and also Windows infrastructure. It was kind of good. And I also started with like bug bounties. Yeah, I found some issues in some EDR providers as Bitdefender or Sentinel-1. But like because of the let's say I really don't like the bug bounties in Web 2. Let's say the people, the triagers are not so good. It's not honest, and so I like trying to find something different. And that when I found like smart contract auditing, like before that I already know like a blockchain. Yeah, I bought some Bitcoin, some Ether. I was doing some DeFi magic. I lost money, etc. And
You lost money or you
yeah,
earn
so
money
I
in crypto?
yeah, so now because the Bitcoin rise, so the earning, yeah. But in DeFi I lost more than just like holding the ETH. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. And I go to the smart contract auditing by a course. So it was like first thing. I think I have read some some blog post from Blockwaller. I don't know how pronounce his nickname, but we
Carlos, right? Blockar.
yeah, Carlos, yeah. So yeah, I bought your course and I started like that, and I was like so interested because I heard about like these competition platforms like Sherlock and Forana, and it was really different from Web2 security because you in Web2 security you had just like the bug bounties, and penetration testing was like kind of service for just by the companies, and it was not like this public competitions or something like that, because yeah, of course, like the different side of the issues, because in Web 2 we focus on more like a confidentiality in case of the information and all this stuff. Yeah, you have regulations, and in crypto, because the applications are still not deployed, yeah, so like you can audit them as you want to. Yeah, so I started with your course, and during the course I started like with the competitions, like the yeah, on Sherlock mostly, and pretty fast I kind of like got the internship in Nethermind, and it's like, let's say, the second part of
I
the
mean,
story. Yeah,
so how much time did it take? So you started like you had some technical background, right? You learned to program
yeah,
in
yeah. I
school.
had yeah, I had technical background. I had, let's say, hacking mindset. So let's say I got internship in. I bought the course in May, I think, more in May
1 year ago, right?
2023.
Yeah, 1 year ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1 year ago. Oh. And yeah, and I got the internship in. I'm not sure if it was September or October,
Hmm.
but let's say
Pretty
pretty
fast.
fast, kind of.
Pretty
It
fast,
went,
like 5 months.
when yeah. So yeah, and like and our first competition, which I like kind of thinks it's kind of successful, was Tokamak. Uh, and
Can
that
you
I was doing like
before we jump into the competitions, can you just
uh,
describe from the moment like I mean, okay, you got into Web3 security, you read some blog post, and then you decided like to dive in. So can you take us through the process from the moment that like you took it seriously? I don't know, you heard about blockchain security, then what did you do until you got eventually the internship? We'll talk specifically about the internship and like
yes.
tips of how you got it and like what did you do there. But like, can you just try to recall and walk us through the whole process? Like, oh, I got a course, I read a blog post,
Uh,
I started exploring GitHub repos. I don't know, got a course, I did the exercise. Meanwhile, I did the
Of
exercise,
course.
I did this. So we have like everything like together. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started with your course. So I kind of finished the first part of the course pretty fast because there were like the basic issues, but I was like missing some theory in some parts. So I was like reading blog posts about like more in depth for reentrancy. Also check some academical papers, etc. about this concept. Like what the issues. I also that time I think the Twitter was, or platform X now, yeah, was kind of like more full with the, say, with the knowledge about the auditing, and then it's now. I think it was kind of better the time. So I also like learned a lot from, I think, Guardian audits or Pashov. They were sharing some insights about like all these kind of issues, and that was everything what I was like
Now
reading
everyone is
about
busy doing
during.
audits, so no one has time to do Twitter. So that's the
Yeah,
difference. Everyone is like booked with audits. No, I'm just joking.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So I was trying to focus a lot on your exercises in smart coding course because they were good. They are good, yeah, not the past. They are good. Yeah, so I focused a lot, and when I was like missing something, sometimes I was like really lost. So also for you, if you feel lost, don't be afraid to ask someone. Or I also like checked the solutions, but not just like that I go to the next exercise or something like that. I was trying to really understand like the exploit, what is the issue. I carefully watched your explanations to like really figure out what is the problem and how I can find it next time in some in some audits, let's say. Yeah, so that was the first part of the course. And the second part was like more interesting for me because it was like a DeFi, yeah. And I also like during the DeFi part, I also started with some like, also with like audits. I was not successful in the first one, but to like get some like a point how I should approach the audit. Yeah, I was like trying to use so far the experience I got from your course, and like how to approach the code and everything like that. And that time I also started to watch uh, Open Sense YouTube channel. I think it is correct, and they have some sessions with like auditors, how they approach the code. And yeah, and I watched one. I don't remember exactly the name. I think it was Christoph or something like that. It was that one young guy. I think you made interview with him, and he made like a lot of money in audits.
Chris,
But I don't remember.
you're talking about Chris,
Yeah,
right? The 16 years old
yeah,
guy. I think he's already 17.
yeah. I think, yeah. I think
From
yeah. That was
Bulgaria.
he.
Yeah, from Bulgaria. Okay.
Yeah. So uh, yeah, that kind of inspired me also, like in the way like how to approach the code or something like that in the audits, and also helped me more in the later part of the course, like how to, say, evaluate everything, how to read the code, like try to find what is not just what is in the code, but what is missing the code. It's sometimes what people miss. the thing that something is missing in the code. And yeah, that also helped me in the exercises. And I was trying to always spend more time on the exercise part in your course than the theoretical part. The theoretical part was sometimes like for me was sometimes not as much in detail. I know it was like on purpose, because you cannot like explain everything, because the video would have like, I don't know, 2 hours. Yeah, it's just one video. So I was focused more on the exercise part, and the
Practical side.
theoretical part I like. Sorry.
On the practical side of the course, like the hands-on exercises.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The practical part, the theory. I was like going sometimes in your video. Sometimes I read some blog posts, or I got some clues from Twitter. Yeah, when the community was sharing their knowledge. Now they are sharing just their results in the competitions. Yeah, so yeah, that that's how I approach the course, I think, mostly.
And
But I finished it. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so you started doing also auditing contest meanwhile doing the course, because I remember you
Yeah.
started and that's what grabbed my attention. That I also saw you were pretty active in the community. You were helping people. You were also active on Twitter, and you also participated in the meantime in some contests and got some rewards. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. So because also one part of your course was like, yeah, trying to share your knowledge and something like that, to be active on social media. So yeah, I tried it to be active on Twitter. Now it is not so possible, because I have lots of stuff to do. So time for this thing. I want to start again after my studies. So I would have more time, I hope. And yeah. So I was trying to like share some my knowledge, what I was getting while learning about the course, or at the course, because I was something like I always feel that I learn more when I also trying to like explain the stuff, what I have learned. Yeah. Uh, I think it's also called some Feynman method or something like that. I don't know exactly the name of it. So I was trying to use it, so share the knowledge, try to explain in Twitter, like the issue, or some also coding or something like that. And I started with the competitions on Sherlock. I have not done so much of them, I think, because like pretty fast I secured the internship, and that time I focused. But my first competition was Real WogMe or something like that, and it was some DeFi, and it was pretty cool. But there I have not got any reward. Uh, it was kind of sad, because first, like my one of my issues was like marked as high, and I was like, yeah, come on, yeah, first issue, and it was like 2 months maybe after I bought your course. Yeah, so it was pretty good. But after escalations, it was made um, as false positive. Yeah, so it was like discarded. So I got nothing. But after that, there was like during the summer, there was tokamak competition. It was kind of large, and I participated there also with my friend who is here now in the community. I see it's I always don't know how to pronounce his nickname. Yeah, his name is Fernando, and yeah, he's also working on our Cairo course, as you can know from the Twitter, and also Yuda, who is I think also here in the chat, and we were doing tokamak together, and I focused a lot on it. I found like, I think six highs or something, 6 5 highs and one medium,
Wow.
and it was kind of good. Like I was not giving. I maybe could give more time, at the time, but it was really hard for me to also figure out how to like focus on the audit, yeah, because it is like different. You are just reading the code, yeah. It's like sometimes it makes you uh, like exhausted doing that one thing. So I was always also trying to write like proof of concepts to change my workload, let's say, and to also confirm the issues. And I found like these 5 issues, and I placed like 21st or 22nd. It was kind of good. I secured like 4-digit reward. For me was like very good. The funny part is like that I got the reward already when I was in Nethermind, yeah. So there was a very long window to find the results, yeah, because there also in
Would you say
Sherlock
that
there was.
participating in this contest helped you eventually to secure the internship? It helped you in terms of skills, or maybe because you were active on Twitter. Like, what
Yeah,
helped you the most? If you
I
take like, let's take like
yeah.
the course, the practical experience. Let's take also the contest, that which also had some more experience and more skill, and also your kind of public appearance on Twitter. How would you rank like each one of them that helped you to get eventually the internship, which is something that is like desired?
So I'm not sure like so much, yeah, because I met Nethermind in Warsaw. I don't know the pronunciation in English. In this capital of Poland.
Warsaw, yeah.
Because Warsaw, yeah, Warsaw. Yeah, because in Czech we say differently. So yeah. So I met Nethermind there. And I heard that they have like internship program. So I applied. And I wrote to my like CV also that I like participated in competitions, but in the motivation letter I wrote that I still have not got any results. But I think what like maybe helped me was the security experience from the past. Yeah, because I was like working in Red Hat. It's also kind of like well-known corporation in IT space. And after that, I worked like for security team at my university. But the project there was kind of like interesting. We were doing like vulnerability management for whole university, and university is kind of like large organization. Yeah, so there was also kind of and so I think I kind of developed the hacking mindset, and also that I take part in some competitions maybe also can help me. I really don't know. Yeah, I don't know the criteria. What like leads to approve some applications and to discard them. So not sure. Like the main fog will like you need to show the interest in the blockchain space, yeah, on Ethereum space, yeah, like, and also it's good that you already did something, yeah. It's not just like that you applied and you are like just you have not done anything before, yeah. It's always too good when before you applied for some job. Let's if we leave it for internship, that you already have done something, yeah, for the space or for your skills, yeah. You are not
Yeah.
expecting just that you will
Mhm.
get the skills there.
Thanks for sharing. So we have a question from the audience, and it's getting fired up already. I don't know if you can see the chat, Ondrej, just in the
Yeah, I see
Discord.
it. I see
Yes.
it.
Yeah, so we have Genesis Glitch that is asking like, I got some experience in Web 2, mainly commercial web applications. Now I'm just at the end of the second part of the course. Most exercises I done by myself, but still I'm just afraid to take bug bounty audit. I think you refer to like audit competitions, right? Can you cheer me up or give me advice to feel more confident? So I think my opinion is like you should just do it simultaneously if you can manage regarding the time, because like the hands-on exercises give you hands-on exercise, but this is kind of complementary to like push you further. And exactly like Judah said, like it's just by doing, just do one more audit and one more audit, start with the easy ones, go to bigger code bases, and eventually you will see that it gets easier to analyze new code bases, to find issues, to write POCs. Everything gets easier. The course gives you the fundamentals, the exercises, but you definitely, if you can complete the POCs and find the issues, you can definitely. The only thing that we don't do in the course is like give you a 2000 code base, because this is not what a course for. This is, you really have to find the repos and start doing it by yourself. I don't think it would make sense if we would give you guys exercise of like, oh, take here 3,000 line of code. maybe it will be a good idea, maybe to create something like this just to scare you a bit and prepare you for the real deal. But it's just, this is the thing that you need to do. That's why you should start, in my opinion, from smaller code bases, up to 500 lines of code. Start from something like this, or even just read previous code base. This is also something that a good tip that I heard before, and I actually did it when I just started, before I even started working on the course. So I just read previous. I started to do, if there is no contest at the moment with small amount of lines of code that matches your needs, just pick a previous contest, like with small lines of code for your practice, right? You invest time in doing exercises, in doing the course. You can look at it as also as a practice and do the audit yourself without looking at the results, without looking at the findings. Give for yourself like, I don't know, 3-4 days, and then compare your results to the findings. So this is another great way to learn. This is one option. If you feel too much overwhelmed by joining an active contest with a lot of lines of code, this is another thing you can do. What is your take on this, Ondrej?
I have different opinion a little bit. I think the large code bases are better.
They're better.
Okay. But you need to be really dedicated to the, say, that you really want to audit. Yeah, like because it takes more time, more focus. There are more issues mostly in the large code bases, so there's a higher chance you will find something. And when you find something, it motivates you more. Yeah. And like what happens many times in Sherlock, there was a period when there were many small audits, and I think like some of them finished just like there was no issue found. Yeah? And that like I don't feel that this is good. Yeah. for you, if you like do first audit and like you submit something and all is like out of scope or something like that, that will not motivate you. I think like not maybe go to the, let's say, to the largest code basis, but if there is something like about mostly the money refers the size of the code, yeah, or this in the competition. So if there is something like about around 50, 70K, I think that is like let's say something in the middle. Yeah, it is not like very huge code base, but it is not a small one. So there can be like at least, I don't know, 5-6 issues in such a size of the code. Yeah, always it depends. Yeah, sometimes you can have really really well written code and which is really secured, but sometimes you need to like dig deep, and you will find at least one. If you find like just one issue, yeah, in the whole contest, it's a win for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you start it.
Yeah, there are some people also that
I would say like focus on mid-size. Yeah.
It depends what your goals are, but if you want to gain confidence, I think it's better to go to smaller code bases, in my opinion. But it's also I think it's very individual. So for you, it works like the mid kind of size code bases, like 60K pot, 70K pot, not like obviously the Blast recent Cantina competition, $1.2 million, competing with Zach, Obront, and all these kind of guys. This might be a bit like too challenging to start with, especially it's also not Solidity and everything, but yeah, it's really individual. I also heard that some people like to go to do only contest of like very heavily audited code base, because that's how they know that most auditors will give up, and also only they're not going to be very findings. So for every finding, there will be a lot of very good rewards. So there are different kind of strategies. Try what works for you best, and yeah. But to get started, which are easy ones? You asked Genesis Glitch. I guess there is no easy ones. In every contest, you will find a challenge, in my opinion, because you need to bring value, right? Either you get money, you get value, but you need also to bring value. So there should be some kind of challenge. But what would be easier for you, I think, is what you like more, what you're more familiar with. So if it's like learning protocol, go for learning protocol. If you really got interest into liquid staking, or I don't know, or like STETH, or like all these kind of new protocols that are built on what's the name? I just a blackout. Ondrej, help me here. The name of this protocol that like with the huge TVL restaking.
Lido? No,
Not
no, no,
Lido,
no.
not Lido.
Yeah, Eigenlayer.
Eigenlayer.
Stick
So if it's like some kind of
Eigenlayer. Yeah,
Eigenlayer
Eigenlayer.
integration protocol, and this is something that interests you or you understand better, go for that, right? So this is how you find like the content that fits you best. And depends if you want to maximize monetary value or like experience. That's also a question that you should ask yourself. If it's experience and getting confidence, just go to something. Don't look at the money. Don't expect to get any rewards. If you get something, it's a bonus. Galexella, feel free to ask your question here. If it's relevant, we'll ask it. If not, you can ask Ondrej separately. Okay, so you did some auditing contest, you got some nice rewards, and then, so what happened first? You got an internship, or I reached out to you about the Cairo course? I don't remember. And by the way, also
I got internship.
you got internship first. Yeah, we got a message here. I feel so excited about the upcoming Cairo security course. Yeah, we too. We are super excited. It's super fun to work on it, to record it, and we are doing very nicely. And there will be announcements soon. So stay tuned. And we will also share some in this session, like some stuff about cool stuff about the Cairo course, what we are working on. But before that, let's start about the internships. So you made the Nethermind teams in a conference, right? You said like.
Yeah. I met them in the conference, but I still need to apply it like normal process. You can also, if you are interested, the internship program is still open. So you just apply, means you send CV, you send motivation letter, or just the cover letter. That's the name of it. And yeah, and you just wait. There are some interviews. One I'm not sure if I can say the details. So there are some interviews, and yeah. So and I got accepted. And in Nethermind it works. I think it's also written like that. Once you are accepted, you can like join to any team you want to. There are different teams. There is some research. There is some programming. Like stuff also on the Starknet focused now. And what interested me more was auditing, of course. Yeah. So I joined there to the auditing part, and what is really nice there is like that you really got the experience. Means that you really participate in audits, and it is not just that like, for example, what I remember in in the Red Hat when I was in internship at the beginning, but there was also like different stadia because I have not got so much experience with Red Hat, but I need to like do some more like studying before like doing the real pen tests. But there was also like different situation, let's say, but still. And here I was like really able to participate in audits, and it was kind of like great. Yeah, that I really was in the process involved. Like you audit the code, you also helping with the writing the report. So you really learn all these skills. You are able to discuss with with your teammates. That's also one valuable thing. Maybe an advice: if you want to approach audits, maybe it's good to approach them in pairs or in small teams, because it depends. It's just personal friends. Like it is really nice when you can like discuss the issues or the impact and really like confirm if it's an issue or it is not. Yeah. Uh, so it really depends on what is your like focus on this way or like preference. Yeah. And yeah. So there was like, yeah, we were auditing some interesting projects, and there in internship I heard like first about Cairo, and I was like, it's Cairo. Yeah, like it's a capital in Egypt, no? So Yeah, I
You
read
knew
about it and
nothing.
I
You
heard
knew
that.
nothing about Starknet and Cairo before you joined Nethermind.
Yeah. So I
Okay,
everything learned there, and
okay,
I'm able to like I kind of learned fast, let's say. Yeah. So I learned fast, kind of all this stuff, like because I still believe in the way that the language is just the tool, and what makes difference it's maybe the ecosystem, or like the application itself, or like what is the purpose, yeah, like the context or the logic itself. And also many issues in Cairo are like, or what we have found were like logical one, yeah. It was like just some of them were like what I remember focused on some Cairo stuff. Many of them were like logical, yeah, that from the sense of the code you understand that it is wrong, there was some wrong ACL or something like that, yeah. And so there I learned Cairo mostly. I learned it by doing. I think also like Milotrak was sharing this experience that he learned just by doing, that he got some problem and he find a way how to solve it. Or that's, let's say, general the hacking mindset. Yeah, you have problem and you need, or programming mindset. I think that is also uh yeah. So I find a way how to read the code. Uh, I was before that I have read little bit about the Rust, like about no in Web 2. So I had some small experience, not so huge, but let's say the syntax was similar. So I was trying to read as much as possible. Uh, that was hard, yeah, because at the really like in the September, in October, the documentation for Starknet was not good. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, I
yeah, but
think
still
it is
not perfect.
still there's no, yeah, there's still not a lot of resources. So reason why we are doing this course, yeah. And but now it's better. Yeah. But in the Nethermind, we had some like Cairo masters, let's say. So I was asking a lot, like about some of these things, and yeah, and so I learned a lot of from like interactions with my colleagues about the Cairo. Yeah, and like uh, and let's say from the beginning of this year, I like when I was promoted to the full time. I really started to feel confident about the Cairo, because now I see just like different language. Yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
see
you
any.
you practice it so much, so it becomes like a native language for you, like Solidity or JavaScript or any other
Yeah,
language.
yeah, different ways programming. Let's say that I like figured out when I was developing the exercises for a course. It's like you can understand everything, but when you are doing the development part, it's different, yeah, because you need to remember all this like syntax stuff, etc. But when you read it, you just read it as a the reading is different, yeah, or
Yeah.
generally the auditing. You don't need to be developer in that language to be able to audit that. Of course, it is the advantage. For example, if you want
Yeah,
to write
it's actually a
tests
big take.
also and
It's
so
a
forth.
it's a key over here because you don't really need to know like the language like in depth 100% to audit a code. That's I mean it obviously will be more useful because there are more nuances. It will be easier for you to read and understand the logic and the flow. But I mean you need to know the language better for other things like running exercise for the new Kaya course. You have to know the language. You have to your contract will be compiled. You need to write tests. So it's all I think it's also boosted your Cairo skills a lot that you had like to write a lot of code in
Yeah,
Cairo,
yeah,
right? Rather than auditing in Nethermind.
yeah,
Because
that's
in
true.
Nethermind you don't write a lot. Maybe you did write here and there a POC for a finding that you a vulnerability that you find, but not as much as in the exercise of the course.
Yes, yeah. Of course, the development part, it's different. Always, it is like that. It's in every. It's not just for the Starknet. It is for web applications. It is for Solidity smart contracts, yeah, or for Android applications. Like always, when you are hacking them, it's really different than you're
Yeah.
developing them. And it's, I guess, it is good to maybe. I think also like Owen was doing that part. Uh, he has some course, I think, some program, and part of that program you were like developing some DeFi, and I think it really can help you to like learn about about all this stuff, because you need to understand it to be able to develop it. Yeah, was also one advice from, I don't know if he was Pashov or someone else. I'm not sure. It was on Twitter, and it was like that uh, you are almost finished with the audit once you are able to like redevelop the code base. Yeah,
I think it was
because in
Pashov.
that
It
time
was
you.
Pashov. He said it at the end of the audit. You should be able to actually, I'm not sure if it was Pashov, but it's a good tip. So it's a good. What is a good sign that you did well in the audit? That you are able to rewrite the protocol from scratch yourself, right?
Yes, yeah, yep, exactly.
Cool. So in between, so you got an internship. The internship is 3 months, but before you really got the full-time job, just we will explain here, because some people get the internship, but they are not good enough, so they are not able to get a full-time job. So Ondrej was able also to get an offer for a full-time security researcher in Nethermind. But in between, I reached out to him. I actually reached out in the community and asked who knows Cairo, because we had some Cairo audits and I wanted to start to work on the Cairo course. I wanted like to also give opportunities to people in the community and to scale up to be able to create more courses. And he was the only one actually that said, "Oh, I know Cairo." So that's why
Yeah.
we started talking, and then we had also Fernando, Marjorie Stewart here, that also joined us, that also started learning Cairo. And then I just offered him like to work with me on the course, on the slides, on to help me prepare materials. So before we jump into the full-time position, can you tell a bit about this experience and like how was it for you?
Yeah. So the first month was kind of, because we were still like more thinking and brainstorming about the course, etc. But the time I started like to develop
By the
exercises,
way, don't reveal too much, yeah?
it,
Don't reveal too much alpha, because the syllabus is not revealed yet, by the way.
I
So
know I'm not saying, I'm just saying general things. Yeah,
we want to create
I
excitement. We
cannot
want to
not.
create excitement. By the way, sorry for interrupting you, but by the way, the course website is already live. So let's see if there is a hacker here that can find the course website. Don't publish it, because there's going to be also an official challenge that will be published on my Twitter account. So if you find it, send it here, but don't publish it on Twitter, because there's going to be also a challenge like
No.
to find the new website. It's already live. The syllabus is there censored. So let's see if someone can find it. Just a challenge. Okay, go ahead. I just had to say it.
Yeah. So we started with the course, and like and I started with the development of the exercises at the beginning. I think started with like the re-entrancy stuff, etc. It was kind of like uh yeah uh I have to say, like, the development in Cairo is sometimes very hard.
Painful, very
That's,
painful.
yeah. I had worse word for that, but uh, yeah, so sometimes it's really painful. Uh, Also, like at the beginning, because I was always just like the auditing the code and not developing it. So I need to like figure out how like the structure has to be settled there. In the Rust, it is a little bit different uh than in Solidity. Yeah, let's say. And what was the worst problem was the tooling. Yeah, because on Solidity you have like Foundry, yeah, you have Hardhat, you
But
have
now we have. So now
Truffle,
we
not
have
so much.
starting
Now we have,
Foundry.
yeah.
In the past, we didn't have.
Yeah, but yeah, and we have starting Foundry now, so it's kind of good, but it's still under development. So sometimes we were missing some stuff, so we were need to update all this thing, and when you update, yeah, everything goes broken, so you
Yes.
need to fix. Yeah, so it's kind of like painful. Yeah, but the development of the exercise was kind of was really, really nice. Uh, because the thing is, like, you need to when you are developing exercises, you need to make many things. Yeah, first you need to like think about the vulnerability there. Yeah, so for example, reentrancy. You need to learn like how you can make in Cairo reentrancy. Yeah, you will figure out like there is no native if transfers. Yeah, so one attack, one exercise goes out. Yeah, so you
And
need to think about
spoilers of
something
the
different.
reentry chapter in Cairo. No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like okay. So you have vulnerability. You maybe know how to exploit, and now maybe a little bit of the context. So you need to create like the contract. Yeah, like what it will be about, how the entrancy can be created. Uh, so sometimes we were trying, I think, more like to have maybe a context in the exercises. Sometimes I think it was not so manageable because we wanted to show the problem. But most of the time we were trying to also like some real case or something like what really can happen.
Real life scenario,
The
real
bro,
challenge.
yeah, and it's also like hard to think about. And now the development, yeah, and now you realize how the Cairo contract is structured, yeah, and like what is 7 months ago, 8 months ago, yeah, not so much documentation, yeah, everything also like kind of old also, so it was really hard to create the first contract, yeah. It was really hard. It was like broken, and also like for me Cairo is like the Rust without the good compiler. And now it's better, of course. Now also evolved. But for example, when you develop in Rust, it tells you in the warning or in the error what is wrong, and always sometimes it always propose for you a fix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Cairo gives you sometimes a random error and you don't know what is wrong. Yeah. So whereas spending
Yeah, the
the time
compiler is
with
weird
fixing such
sometimes.
a
The
problem.
compiler is
Yeah.
weird. And also, so what helped me is like lint in the VS Code. So I have lint, I see the errors right away on my VS Code before actually trying to compile the code. And it's funny that you said that the tooling is like kind of all like not the great, but it's getting better. I feel like it's getting better. But don't worry,
Yes.
guys. We have a development environment chapter where we share all the tooling, all the compiler, the VS
And
Code extensions.
everything is prepared for you.
Everything is prepared for it.
Everything
So
is
that's the
prepared.
idea of the course. You already know, you know our courses. So it's going to be same style, everything. You have all the setup, all the introduction. Yeah. And another
You
fine
just
things.
find the issue and write the test. Yeah. So that's like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how you know from Smart Contract Hacking course. Yeah.
Yeah. So also I started using GitHub Copilot recently. It's great. It's amazing. It's amazing for Solidity. It's amazing for JavaScript. It completely sucks at Cairo. It sucks really. And I'm recording now exercises, and I'm now recording the walkthroughs, the solutions. So I'm giving you kind of behind the scene how it looks like, and then it just completes me. And like maybe 10% of the times it completely correct. And you will see if you will get a course. So you will see like a lot of times it's just so many jokes like, what the fuck, GitHub Copilot? Like, it's complete nonsense, it just completes it with complete nonsense. Sometimes it helps, but so it's a bit funny because it's such a new language. Even AI models cannot really predict and by the way, GitHub Copilot is amazing. I just discovered it recently. I don't know. I'm wondering how many of you guys are using it. Share in the chat. It's very useful for writing code. It really accelerates the process. It really it just make you so much faster as a coder. It doesn't matter if it's writing POC or developing something. So for me, I write a lot of code, so it's really helpful. Share with me your experience if you use it. Maybe use some other AI assistants, but yeah, it's interesting.
I use also GitHub Copilot. The thing is like because now also one thing what is important to know, we focus on Cairo on the current Cairo version. Yeah, so that is like the V2
2.5, 2.6, yeah.
and yeah, of course, but yeah. And before there was a different Cairo, the Cairo
Zero.
0, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more like it was really different language, let's say, than
Completely
it is
different.
now. Yeah.
Completely different, horrible language. Now it's more looks like Rust. So GitHub Copilot depends on the day. Some day it just recommends you to write Cairo 0 code. Some days it just gives you Rust syntax.
Yeah,
Some days it just gives you
that's the thing.
nonsense.
That's the thing.
It's like, yeah, I just figured it out recently and it's very funny. So don't count on GitHub Copilot in new languages and new technologies. Just FYI. Okay. So we are building a cool course. Do you want to tell some other stuff from the experience of the course? So like challenges that like regarding the exercise, the chapters. Also, you helped me build like some slides of the course.
Yeah. So how much I can be in detail? Like I don't want to spoil. So like, could I say like what kind of chapters we have, or like what would
You
you
can
feel about it?
say maybe 2 chapters or something, or tell about your experience of like building these chapters. If it's too much, I would
Yeah.
just continue.
Yeah, okay. So I said before the reentrancy, it's like always a problem in the smart contract. Yeah, and it was kind of like, yeah, interesting. We made some exercises for that. I think also will be in development later, because there are many options what you can do with reentrancy, or like the story of the issue, let's say, how it can be created. So we still like written back to chapters we now think are already finished, because we want to bring more value to you by like more, let's say, real life experience, or also so scenarios, or just we have crazy ideas, so we are trying to put it there.
Yeah.
uh,
Very crazy ideas. A lot of them based on real life scenarios and findings that happened, not on hacks because there are not that many hacks in Starknet for
yes,
now.
on
But a lot of
Starknet there are not so many hacks.
but a lot of them are based either
Sorry.
on like audits, like Starknet Cairo audits, or on like Solidity audits that we converted the vulnerabilities from Solidity to Cairo. That it can happen,
Yes.
and we have
Yeah.
an entire chapter. I can say it already. Okay, that it's gonna be around logical attacks. So it will be like logical attacks in Cairo, different kind of logical DeFi hacks. Lending protocols, DeFi, Dexes, my Oracle stuff in Cairo. So it's gonna be cool, very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We are trying to like bring some issues we already found in the Solidity audits, not just in Nethermind, but also in like a different area, or for something from Code for Arena. So we are trying to bring it to the Cairo, and now there's the problem, yeah, because you need to have the implementation in Cairo, yeah, but you don't, so you need to write it, and it's also like kind of there is like one thing you can maybe get points of some of the exercises just by reading my Twitter. So you can make some OSINT, and you will maybe figure out some of the exercises what they can be about. Yeah, so that is like if you are interested. Uh, yes, so we have this logical part, and we are trying to bring more. We are thinking about like also what, for example, we or Johnny did for smart contract hacking course. So we are sometimes bridging this thing to the Cairo, because they also can occur there, and it is nice to see the issues in the Cairo version, yeah, because the code is a little bit different, yeah, and you need to be able to read it, to find it, and sometimes you will feel that because the Cairo is too complicated to read, it is secure, yeah, but it is not, yeah. So you need to
Yeah,
be careful about all these things, yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
One thing you need to consider, like there is more code than in Solidity. Yeah, it's more code
more
because you
code,
need
way
to
more
do,
code.
yeah, you need to do some stuff uh in harder way. Yeah. Let's say it cannot be done in one line, for example, sometimes, or it can be, yeah, but it will not look well, yeah, because you can like everything put to the one line, yeah. If you want to, no, just like joking here. But yeah, it's kind of more complicated. The structure is more complicated. It makes sense sometimes. If you are like interested about the Cairo, you will figure out like maybe why the structure is like that, because it can help you maybe in creating some form of verification tools. Yeah.
So you shared about like how you got a full-time position, what was the difference, and some tips of like how to get better, how to show how to stand
Yeah,
out when you're going to for internship, and make sure that you do get this kind of full-time position, be active, always try to improve processes. If there is some kind of tedious work that is being done, try to maybe create automation for it, a tool, be active in the conversation, in the brainstorming sessions, and show your value basically. So what other tips would you give to, like, first, let's divide it to tips to get an internship and tips to get a full-time job and perform well in an internship.
So to get an internship, always it depends like what you want to be. If you want to be developer, auditor, something different. But I will try to say it for the auditing. Yeah. So I think you should first like try to participate in some audit competitions. Try to like show you have some like hacking experience. I think that is the best, and also try to like really show the passion about the stuff, yeah, about the auditing, about
The industry.
Ethereum, about the industry, yeah, of course, and also and for the like the full-time position, it depends, yeah, if you are like applying directly for the full-time position, that's different. Sometimes it's also about the luck and of course about your experience. But if you are trying to get in to secure the full-time position from the internship, it's as I said, like be active, participate in every, try to help, try to like show your value. Let's say we can like really like that. It's like don't be in the corner, yeah.
Yeah. Don't be in a
Don't be
corner, but
quiet.
really bring value. Don't also just be.
Yeah.
I don't think that also like being actively screaming and like trying to show that you're doing something is also
No,
not
no, no,
good.
no,
Just
no,
really like
not
sit your
like
ass
that.
and
No.
work, and sit your ass and work, and don't be shy to share your work, like what the value you brought to
And
the other team.
also try to like, I don't want to say it like that, but like show that also it's good to ask questions, but ask like good questions. So really like show that, I don't know, you can have some, if you are auditing, yeah. So you have some function, and it have some like, it is calling some internal functions, and which are inherited from something, and I don't know, yeah. And in some internal function can be implemented some access control, yeah, something like that. And like you can like, and the public function we are calling, there's no access control. And if you would ask like, is it not issue that the public function doesn't have like access control modifier or something like that, but if you like follow the path of the whole functionality, you will figure out that there is like a access control modifier in the internal function or something like that.
So don't ask obvious
So
questions. Yeah. Don't ask
yeah,
like
yeah,
the easy
really try
questions.
to spend time first on like understanding uh the whole flow, or like the whole the code. Ask more like questions in sense like, what happens if, I don't know, the admin will set this input, yeah, or something like that. Well, how it would influence the rest of the system, and try to maybe like ask these questions also your colleagues, and try to like make discussions, yeah. And maybe like from that discussion you will find an issue, yeah, which would result, I don't know, in the loss of funds or something like that, yeah. Or yeah, you really need to like, because for me auditing is like you are thinking about different flows of how like users or any actors can interact with the application, and try to break these flaws, or try to find a problem in some, for me it's also like invariant testing, but in my head, yeah. It's like you also think about one invariant which should not be broken, and you are trying to like find a way how it can be broken, yeah. Sometimes it's good to automate this stuff, yeah, but sometimes we don't have time for that. So need to think about it, yeah. And try to like show that you have these skills during the internship, yeah. or try to create them during the internship, like trying to be really, it's like really, even though I understand that even though it is like a remote internship and you maybe don't meet the colleagues or something like that, in Web3 most of the thing is remote,
Yeah.
so really try to show that you are still dedicated to the internship, because you need to like uh as I already said, don't be in the corner. Just like really show that you are interested about everything what is happening and that you really know what you are doing. Yeah, or you are trying to learn how this process works, or how the auditing works. Yeah, it's like
Great tips.
it's sometimes hard to explain this thing, but maybe someone already knows what I mean. Uh, it's not like don't ask stupid questions, ask interesting questions, and like do your job first, but you have Google also, so it's like uh, it's maybe different. I'm like still university student, so we have something like that. We had the homework and we just need to like solve it. No one helps us. We can maybe help in the team, so we also have other interns who you can discuss, or but
Yeah. I want actually to
I'm not
bring
like saying
I just want to
go ahead.
bring the other side of the coin. Yeah, don't ask newbie questions, but also don't be afraid to ask questions because when you work in a
Yeah,
team,
that's also
you
the thing.
might be like researching, I don't know, some kind of function or like, I don't know, for like 3 hours and you something doesn't click and you're like not sure about it. And just because you didn't ask it, you wasted 3 hours. So find the like kind of like soft line between
Yes,
like, oh, I just where is that access?
balance.
Where is that access from now? Let's shoot a message on Slack or on Discord and ask where's the access from, or like actually going deep diver and checking the internal function. The access control in internal function. This is a stupid question because you didn't really do your job. You just waited for someone to spoon feed you, like feed you with a spoon. But if there is like so, yeah, try to spend some time, and if you don't make it after a while, then ask the questions. Right. I think this is
Yeah,
like
yeah, of course. You first need to do your work. If you think it takes too long, just ask. But just like write sometimes the question in the way it shows that you already have done something. Yeah,
yeah. Also,
it's
the way you
like
phrase the question
it
is
is.
also important.
Uh, yeah. The language is important in that way.
Yeah. Thanks. Great tips, by the way. And you also mentioned that you're in university at the same time. So you were doing the course, you were doing the SCH course, working with me on the Cairo course, doing an internship in Nethermind and then a full-time position, and all of this while studying for a computer science degree in the university and doing your thesis. How does it work?
Yeah, very hardly. Yeah, it's. I'm already so tired from that. I am so looking forward to finish at least the one thing. I have the final exams in a few weeks, 3 weeks, I
Good luck.
think, weeks. Yeah, thank you. Uh, and the one thing was that I also like collaborated this in Nethermind. I like was not working full like this 40 hours, so always it's also about like discussions like that. Yeah, I really want to work for you, but I just need to finish the university, and they understand it. So I was able to focus some time. Of course, not paid time to my thesis, to my university, because that's my personal thing, personal stuff, let's say. And I was also trying to do the course during the evenings, let's say. So I kind of like made a good time management, uh, which kind of like can break easily, because I really need to be able to everything. Makes now it's kind of also like harder, so it's kind of spoiler now for me to work on Cairo course. It's kind of harder, so I will do more most of the job what is missing after I like finish my studies. That is like just like one spoiler, let's say. here. But it's kind of hard. But always, I think it's about like discussion also with this, like, let's say, mandatory stuff you need to do. So I already discussed with you. You understand this thing. So with my boss, but yeah, you need to really have a good time management to be able to find the specific slots for everything. Because for me, it's, for example, really hard the switch context. Yeah. When you like focus on, I don't know, let's say I had this audit on eigen layer integration. After that, I should like switch to the you know, course development. It's very different. Yeah. So what helped me was maybe to like one day work more, for example, in Nethermind, and the second day like focus on the course. Yeah. And the third day like focus
It is.
on the university. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
So
like that is
less context
advantage of the remote.
switches. There are less context
Yeah,
switches because when you every time you do a
yeah,
context switch, it's like hard to do this switch, right?
yes, yeah. Of course, yeah. And that is like advantage of the remote working. Yeah, because you can the time is flexible. You need to give the company the time, but you can decide what is the time slot there for that. Let's say.
That's a
But
huge
of course, you need to
advantage.
be available.
This is a huge advantage for Web3 opportunities, especially in Web3 security. That it's all remote and like
Yes.
you're flexible and it give you freedom mostly. Like as soon as you bring value and you deliver, they don't care if you there is one day that you don't work, but the other day you will work like I don't know 14 hours. Okay, so we are getting closer to the end. Now I want to ask you, like, what are your future plans, goals when it comes to the blockchain space? Let's assume you finish your university degree, we finish the Cairo hacking course. You're still gonna work probably in Nethermind. Do you have like any vision for the future? Any plans? Any goals? Like, how do you see yourself
Yeah.
in like one or
So
2 years?
I still want to spend time in Nethermind, as we were discussing, because we have interesting projects. It's really great to get the experience and to be there with great people, very smart people. And but my like goal is to really find some great critical bug in Humanify. It's like one of the milestones I made for myself. Because yeah, not just about the money, but like let's
The
say
flex, about the flex that you
the
found a
yeah,
critical
yeah,
bug in a
yeah,
deployed
yeah,
on-chain
yeah, yeah,
protocol.
yeah. It's kind of like good.
Sounds like amazing goals. And any final thoughts or like advice you want to give to people that are listening now, to people from YouTube that will listen, to people in the community, like so that they want to follow your step. They wanna like also succeed. They wanna also like get an internship. They wanna perform. You also performed well in auditing contests. You got a job here with me in the Cairo course. So like, what kind of tips can you give?
So I think it's like it's already like was told said so many times. Like it's about the dedication. You can like for the space. You really need to be interested. Yeah, it's not you cannot do it just for the money. Yeah, of course, the money are great. Yeah, because money are important in our world. But you need to like focus on the thing about like the auditing, that you really like it, that you really enjoy the process, you enjoy when you find the issue. Yeah, you always need to be also be like satisfied. Yeah, that sometimes I have a problem with that. Like I found like issue, I'm like, yeah, okay, next issue. Yeah, like I cannot like be so satisfied with that, and that is the problem. So be happy about like the thing you are doing. Yeah, enjoy the process, enjoy the auditing. And always it's about like trying to find like something you are better than anyone else. Like I'm not saying that I'm uh the best in Cairo, of course. Like my colleagues in Nethermind, some of them are like better than me, of course, because they're doing that also long time, and that. But it is like it's I'm trying to like be let's say I was only one in the smart contract hacking community. Yeah, that was the reason I was also like able to work on the course. So it is like trying to be focused on one thing and do your best in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And actually, yeah, it's not easy to start a new language and a new ecosystem, of course, but of course it brings a lot of advantages because again, the supply is a bit lower, much lower. Sorry, the supply is much lower. There are so many less people that know Cairo compared to people who know Solidity, smart contracts. Um, then also you have this kind of only dust opportunities, which do not exist in the Solidity world. So you don't have like you do have rewards actually for contributions to open source projects. You know, like the optimism grants and all these kind of things. But this is just literally there is a platform for that. So it's like a code arena for the development, which is cool. Only dust. In what way Cairo is unique? You should wait for the course for that. And so many ways. It's unique for many ways, but it's like we will talk about it a lot in the course. First of all, it's more similar to Rust. It's very strictly typed. And also, it's basically a provable language. So it's like you can write code that can be proved with technology called ZK Starks, ZK knowledge, zero knowledge. And it basically enables the whole thing that's called Starknet because you can write smart contracts and then you can run your own execution layer 2 and then prove the correctness of this execution on layer 1 on Ethereum and do all the settlement and enjoy all the security of layer 1. So this is just on very, very high level. But in the course, we will dive deeper. We have technical and theoretical chapters about Starknet, about zero knowledge, about Cairo, and the Cairo VM and the language and how it converts to Sierra and then to Cairo assembly. Everything is covered in a course and it's unique in that way. So first of all, thank you so much, Ondrej, for joining us today. I really had a
Thank you for
great
invitation.
time talking with you, and thanks for sharing all the experience and stories. It's very valuable for the community, for people that will watch it later. So thanks a lot. If people want to reach out to you, they can reach out to you in the community on Discord, right? Or also
Yes.
on Twitter, Talfao. So we'll put all the links in the description on the YouTube video. And yeah, so I will see you tomorrow, I guess.